Hello and welcome to this little video of 25 Easter eggs and things you may have missed in the case of the Spurned Siren, which is the fourth adventure in the seventh book. Got to remember it right there. Seventh book for my investigative paranormal, Sam Spallucci, which is Fury of the Fallen. Now, before I go on, first I want to say a big thank you to all my patrons and those Kickstarter backers of this who chose to have the shout outs. And they are Gemma Innes, Paul Lewis, Debs McGowan, Roanna Hesketh, Simon Brindley, and Lee Hardy. Thank you so much, guys. You really do help with the publication, and obviously you help to make these videos happen. If you'd like a shout out on my regular Easter egg videos, then why not consider joining my book club? Membership starts from just £1 a month, and all proceeds help to finance these videos and the publishing of my books. There will be a link down below. You can either get it through the website or straight through to Patreon. And also, while you're here, before I just go off and tell you all these wonderful little factoids, please don't forget, quick like, quick subscribe. That'd be absolutely marvellous. Number 1, Sam's record collection. Sam refers to a selection of records and vinyls that he had as a kid. There's a 50th anniversary Disney LP, a Pink and Perky LP, Old Shep, Puff the Magic Dragon, and Peter and the Wolf. Now, out of these, 4 were from my own collection as a kid. The odd one out is actually Puff the Magic Dragon. I never actually owned that. But in Sam 9, which is going to be To Dare the Dragon, see the link, you can expect to see this crop up a bit. Sam says that he used to cry to Old Shep. Where are you going with this, buddy? I was just wondering, you know, because fiction copying fact. Yeah, well, anyway, moving on. Number 2, crumpets. Asher refers to crumpets as civilization's greatest achievements. It's because they are. Number 3, MasterChef. Sam makes a passing reference to the critics from MasterChef grumbling about the food that they'd been presented. This is one of numerous MasterChef examples that Sam refers to throughout the books. It's all like one of his guilty little pleasures. Number 4, sometimes you have to do what has to be done. This quote from Ash really defines her. Yes, she is self-centered. Yes, she is manipulative. But she genuinely believes that's what she has to do. Well, that's sort of like the exact opposite of Spliff, really, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. Spliff has been Sam's mentor, you know, basically since our university. He's his moral compass, his anchor. However, now Spliff's gone, now Spliff's dead, Sam is rudderless, and we might see how he could be turned onto a different path. Number 5, timelines. Ash explains how, as an angel, being near the centre of the Wallace event, so to speak, she's able to have experienced both realities. This is crucial to the Spallucciverse as a whole and has repercussions even further on. And it can also be seen, this notion of sort of like the shared realities, in 2023's Bobby Normal and the Fallen, where the Archangel Michael describes how he has experienced both the convergent and the divergent lands. Number 6, Grace and Asherah. I have the 2 women in Sam's life meet here, and once Ash had been persuaded, you know, not to seduce the young student, what did they do? Well, they compare notes about Sam, of course, And I love the fact that the two of them get on really, really well here, which is the complete opposite to how Grace and Caroline got on, because Caroline was not a bitch to Grace and just saw her as beneath her, whereas Ash is just like, yeah, I may be this sort of like eternity old entity, angel, whatever, but I'm going to sit and chat with a little student. Number 7, Sam calls Ashera Ash. Ashera comments that only one person before has called her Ash, and this is Scorpion, when the two were romantically involved before the fall of Troy. Number 8, Ash's history lesson. As well as discussing Sam whilst he's out of the room, Ash and Grace talk about history. This little scene really shows the human side of the angel. We see how when she's not trying to be what she feels is expected of her, she relaxes and she is really easy company. She is polite, she is intelligent, she is friendly, she's just nice to be around. Number 9, the Damascus Accord. Now, this is a crucial plot point which really mustn't be overlooked. Like lots of little things which you have Sam watching on TV, they all come back later on. This so-called peace process in the Middle East is something which will have devastating repercussions in Fallen Angel, following the events of the short story Relics, which took place a couple of anthologies ago. This is the Asmodeus and Ashera short story, and indeed, Ash refers to the events of that story here. Number 10, Robert Richmond. Again, another television reference. Here Sam refers to the renowned archaeologist of the Spallucciverse, the fictional, you can't look him up, he's not real, the fictional Professor Robert Richmond. We've seen Sam watch a lot of this chap, and there's very good reason for that. So, what would that be then? Well, those who have read the short story, How the Tibbles Got His Name, will know that Richmond is in fact the human father of Eloise, which makes him Alec's grandfather. Not only this, but he will make an appearance in Sam Spallucci Lux Eterna. Oh, that sounds very exciting. Absolutely, Shreddy. Absolutely. Number 11, Lucifer and Lucky Strikes. Sam asked Lucifer where he got his cigarettes from. We are going to find that out in Sam 8, Lux Eterna. It's been referred to a number of times through the books. Next one's the charm. Number 12, Sam hits Lucifer. I think this is a moment we've all been waiting for. Sam loses it. He can take the jibes and the jerk around no longer and finally snaps. He lashes out and hits the most powerful entity that he has ever met. This is the angel who rebelled against God, for crying out loud. There is no way that Sam would have done this 6 books ago. It shows how his character has developed. We see him becoming more confident in his own existence, so to speak, and this is a reflection of the effect that Ash is having on him. She is liberating him from those who have just kept him in the dark for so long. Number 13, ask her about Cassandra. Lucifer warns Sam away from Ash, just like he did Caroline, books ago, and tells him to ask her about the Trojan seer. Sam does not know at this point that she was involved with Scorpion. It will come back to bite him later on with devastating consequences. Number 14, Ash's Nightmare and Beyond. Ash's nightmare here is the same one she had in Relics, the short story. She is terrified that she will end up beyond. This is the third realm, which is a hell dimension apart from God. There is no God, there is no love, there is nothing. Here we see Sam really wearing his heart on his sleeve, as he promises that should that happen, he will come and rescue her. Is that actually wise? Well, we're just going to have to wait and see in about 5 books' time. Number 15, How to Reach Beyond. Okay, so there's so much going on in Spurned Siren. So many things which are going to have punch points later on. And this, again, is another one of them. It's a real crux point in Sam's journey. On one hand, we see how he wants to do the right thing. He wants to rescue John, and he promises to save Ash. However, according to Asher, for him to reach beyond, there is a terrible price. 5 people must die, allowing him to enter the heavenly realm so that he can send himself to the hell realm himself, because he can't do it from the physical realm. The question we now ask ourselves is, will Sam ever pay that price? Number 16, Canaan. Asher's recollection of Canaan's history, or to be a bit more precise, prehistory, is more or less accurate. I had a wonderful time researching the historic background of Ugarit and the city-states of the Levant. I loved weaving Ash and Asmodeus into it, taking their histories and just like pop them into reality. Number 17, Spliff's Rose Garden. Spliff's ashes are scattered in his rose garden. This is the same one we see in Ghosts from the Past. Number 18, Ash and Sam's Walk. The route that Ash and Sam take after the scattering of Spliff's ashes is one I do myself a lot. You go south of Lancaster, down through Freeman's Wood, and basically follow the Loon until you get to Old Cliff, and then turn back towards the canal. It is a real tender thing for Sam and Ash here. It shows it's like the human side of her. She cares for the ducks, and she's terrified of the trees. She has her own loves, she has her own cares, but she also has her own fears. Number 19, Tim the Turk. So, here we have the moron in Lycra burst into the story. He meets his match in Ashura, and yet doesn't even realise it. He really is a jerk. Well, unfortunately, there's quite a few of them out there, aren't there, Schrodie? Number 20, Chimera. This is a symbol which has been used before, way back in Ghosts in the Past with Malcolm Wallace. He was obsessed with it, and it cropped up in a number of followers of Satanic sitcom. It's, again, something watch out for later on. Number 21, Ashura starts to cook. This is an amusing one for me, yeah. When I was devising this scene, I instinctively knew that she was going to wear a blue shirt. In fact, rather like, the sort that I'm wearing today. A nice big sort of fancy work office shirt sort of thing. However, it wasn't until I finished the book that I actually sat down and realised why this image was in my head. A week or so after completing the story, I settled down to watch Naked Gun. Halfway through, I burst out laughing. Oh, what was that then? Well, there was Priscilla Presley wearing a blue shirt, cooking breakfast. I had subconsciously recreated a very similar scene. Number 22, Is He Alone? Ash is concerned that Alec might not be on his own. This is returning to the time that she came across him in ancient Israel. And of course, that time, he was accompanied by Lucifer. Well, it would be jolly nice to see that story sometime. Funny should mention that, Schrodie. It is coming out late 2023 in The Child of Light. Number 23, Asmodeus' story. When Asmodeus meets Sam in the Borough, he recalls an incident that occurred before he and Ash came to Lancaster to illustrate just how brutal Ash is now. The scene of Ashera and Asmodeus murdering the couple in the car is the catalyst for the events of Fallen Angel, as the couple were the parents of the book's main character. It all ties up. Number 24, Dagon. So, after Asmodeus has murdered the family and lured Sam to their house, Dagon appears, and we find out that not only was he the genie from the previous case of the generous genie, but he's also a power. One of sort of like mystic angels who keep themselves in heaven. And finally, number 25, there was a chicken. So after everything is kicked off, the potency shows Sam a vision of beyond, and he refers to there having been a chicken. I have this scene in my head that perfectly describes hell, and yeah, it does involve a chicken. That's all I can say for now. You just have to stay tuned and find out what happens in the book Beyond, which should be out in about, I don't know, 5 years' time. Anyway, in the meantime, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed those. Stay safe, and I'll see you again soon.